In this video, I'm going to tell you why I will not be buying the Sony 200 to 600 zoom or the Sony 600mm f4 lenses. Alright, it's Friday and this is 5 for Friday, and so today I'm going to give you 5 reasons I will not be buying either of the two new lenses that Sony just released. They just released a 200 to 600mm zoom and a 600mm f4, and I haven't had a chance to try either of the lenses, but they both sound like they are fantastic. I've read some of the early reviews and I'm sure Sony is going to do great with these lenses, but they're not for me. And a lot of people have been asking me, will I buy them? And I won't be buying either of them, and here's why. So there are 5 reasons. So firstly, I'm not using zooms anymore, as many of you may know. I only shoot prime lenses now. So I had a 100 to 400, don't have that anymore. My main lens for reach is a 400 f2.8. I also had a 70 to 200 before, don't have that anymore either. The secondary lens I use for medium shots is the 135 prime. So not using the zooms, and obviously you lose some flexibility in terms of composition with not having a zoom, but for me I find that there are a lot of other things that I gain in terms of image quality and apertures and so forth. And that brings me to the second point, and that is big apertures. So I really value bigger apertures for subject isolation, for getting really clean shots with low ISO, and for being able to shoot in low light, late in the evening, early in the morning, or whenever there's just not enough light. So with the 400 f2.8, I've got 2.8, it's a stop more than the 600 f4. You might say, well, that's just only a stop. Well, it's only a stop, but it's double the amount of light. So it's a difference between, say, ISO 5000 and ISO 10000, or shutter speed of 1/1000th versus 1/2000th. So to me, it's a lot, and I really value those apertures. So that's the second reason, is that obviously the 200-600 zoom, even if I was interested in a zoom, when you zoom all the way in, you're at f6.3, and that's just way too small for me. f4 also, I know that obviously when I stick the teleconverter on the 400, so I'm at 560, I'm at f4 then too, but a lot of the time I'm at 400 and I can get f2.8 out of that. The other reason, third reason why I'm not interested in either of these lenses is the 600 f4, it's just too big physically. It's a longer, wider lens than the 400 2.8. If you've seen my video on traveling with camera gear, you'll see that the 400 f2.8 just fits in all of the bags and cases and backpacks that I use to carry my gear around in the field and on flights. The 600 f4 wouldn't fit in a lot of those things, and I'd have to then figure out how to make it work. It's really just not worth it for me. So that's the third reason, is the size, the physical size of the lenses, and especially the 600 prime. The fourth reason is that for me, 400mm is an ideal focal length. I like to shoot handheld a lot, and I like to shoot typically bigger animals, mammals that are not really far away, and I find that 400 is ideal. I can obviously get more reach by putting a teleconverter on it. I can make it into 560, or I can make it into 800, or I can put a crop body on there and even go out further. But for me, a lot of the time, 400 is great. Now I understand for a lot of people who shoot, say for example, birds, especially small birds that are far away, they really want the reach. They want 600 as a base, and then with teleconverters they can get out to 840, or they could get it to 1200. But for me, I really find that 400 is ideal, and that really then brings me to the fifth reason I won't be buying either of these lenses, and that is I don't want to be stuck at 600. Often for me, 400mm is sometimes even too tight. So I find that 400 is ideal, and I will be sticking with 400 f2.8. I'm very happy with it. I've seen that some people said that they are going to sell their 400s now, that they're going to get the 600 instead, and that may be right for them, but the 400 is perfect for me. I'm very happy with it. So there you go, 5 reasons why I won't be buying either of these fantastic new lenses. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.